everyone, and welcome to Calling All Vegans, where we aim to network, support, and activate the vegan community through the wide variety of unique and effective activism techniques employed by our guests. And through our discussions on speciesism, we hope to persuade people to become vegan. I'm Sue Spar, and this is my friend and co-host, Alec Bosse.
Hi, everybody.
Now, we do have a new YouTube channel, Calling All Vegans, and we would be grateful if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Now, today's guest has reinvented classic comfort foods with a modern animal-free spin so that those dishes people might be missing are only missing animals. He's a Toronto institution with his 2 groundbreaking restaurants, and he's now added a 4th cookbook to his repertoire, the Classics Veganized, over 120 favorite comfort food recipes for a vegan lifestyle. Here it is right here, since we didn't have the book on hand. It's only on pre-order. So yep, that's 120 drool-worthy recipes found in what's positioned to be the Bible of plant-based cookbooks. He's a pioneer in the vegan movement, aligning his career path with his ethics in a time when veganism was relatively unknown, helping make plant-based cuisine go mainstream. Please welcome Executive Chef Doug McNish to Calling All Vegans.
Aw, thank you guys. Can you guys come with me when I travel and just introduce me wherever I go?
Well, we'd love to.
We'll just hit record and I'll do that again.
So Doug, when you were younger, did you like helping out in the kitchen with your family, or did your passion for cooking come more in your adult life?
You know, so I mean, I started in restaurants. So the only job I've ever had, at the time of recording this, I'm 37. I started cooking when I was 15 in restaurants, and that's the only thing I've ever done. I've never had another job. You know, you hear people say they did X, Y, and Z, and I never did anything else. But I do have fond memories of watching my mom when I was really little, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and she did everything from scratch. So she's no longer here with us. She passed away about 7 years ago, but I would say that 100% the inspiration came from her, and just tasting what real food tasted like. Not, she made spring rolls from scratch, and the pasta she made from scratch, and just tasting these things, I said, oh my God, this is really good. And I'm sure in a roundabout way inspired me.
Oh, that's beautiful. So like I said, I don't have an actual copy of
I don't even have a copy.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't feel so bad, but I have pre-ordered it. So
thank you.
I'm one of those people who buys cookbooks, but I don't actually ever use them. I don't like cooking at all, but however, I will definitely be getting a ton of use out of this one. Or at least my husband will, I guess. And from what I've seen of it, it has visually stunning photography, and it could really easily double as a coffee table book. So obviously photography, amazing photography, is crucial for a cookbook.
100%. We eat with our eyes first. And I would say one of the critiques I had for my first 3 books is there wasn't enough pictures. So I was thrilled when I first started talking to Penguin Random House, my publisher, that they wanted a picture for pretty much every recipe.
Oh, good.
That's
what people want to see.
100%. Again, we're visual creatures, human beings are, and it's why chefs can cook really well, but we also know how to plate and make things look fancy. And all of a sudden we can charge $5 more a plate if something looks good. Yeah. And it's the same with the book. I actually worked with Nicole. Nicole is an animal rights activist here in Toronto, actually. She's a published author herself, and she did a fantastic job. We went back and forth. Oh God, it was almost 2 years ago now. And I just worked with her and sent her tips and tidbits and everything, and she just did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of the visual of the book, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the popularity of Instagram, for example, so that just says it all.
So now it is being released by Penguin Random House, and what is the date? Is it the 28th, 29th?
29th of September is the official date, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw 2 dates online, so I went, well, that is it. So,
well, I think they're both a month. One's a Monday, one's a Tuesday. So Monday or the Tuesday, it'll be coming out.
Awesome.
Little something to look forward to after the weekend. Huh? So how long has this little labor of love been in the works?
Well, a book like this I've wanted to do for a long time. I would say though, some of the seitan recipes in there, for example. So strip loin steak and ribs and chicken wings and Salisbury steak and things like that. I started working on those recipes when I was 21.
Oh my God.
So we're talking 16 years in the making for some of those recipes. And
It wasn't the same slab of seitan.
no, there is a lot of mistakes in those 16 years making seitan. So yeah, just getting textures right. Seitan's a tricky thing, and the right amount of fat, the right amount of liquid, the right amount of sodium, the right amount. It's really is tricky to get that right. So yeah, and just other things too. There's salad dressing in there I've been working on for 10 years, and it's just I want, when I say it's a classic vinaigrette, I want it to be effing kick-ass. I want it to be really good. So, and just like, the tomato sauce and the eggplant parmesan, for example, that tomato sauce is kick-ass, and it's something as basic as a tomato sauce. But again, it's, recipes are all scientific equations, and you need to get the right amount of salt, the right sugar, the right fat, the right seasoning, and things like that. And I'm really proud of this. It just all came together really well. And yeah, I'm super excited for people to try it.
On that note, what would you say was probably the hardest dish of your comfort foods to veganize?
The ribs, hands down the ribs, because ribs are such a, those poor pigs, right? Those poor little baby pigs. And, everyone loves ribs because they're soft and you hear fall off the bone, which to us is disgusting. But, it's because the flesh is soft. They don't work the animal. So the connective tissue doesn't get tough. So when I'm replicating a recipe, I know these things because I used to eat them. I used to cook them. Mm-hmm. And I look back and I'm like, okay, how can I do this? So I played around with those ribs probably for 2 months, every week, 2-3 times a week, just trying different recipes. And then I finally dawned on me, like, I should try quick cook oats. And the quick cook oats, they're long and flat. So if you put enough in the seitan, they have a texture of like tendons and flesh. Yeah. It's gross to think about, but they turned out, they're fantastic. They're just like a rack of ribs.
So are many of the recipes that are in the book ones that are available in the restaurants?
That were featured in his restaurants.
That were been previously?
Yeah. There is a lot of content that I've done over the years in restaurants, both here and abroad. But there's lots of new content too. Stuff that I hadn't done in restaurants. I did a bangers and mash, for example, sausages. I did a really simple tofu sausage recipe. Lots of dessert recipes. I'm not really a heavy type of dessert guy. It's not my specialty or my passion, but for this, I wanted to create some cool stuff. So there's an easy blueberry pie. It takes 15 minutes to make. So that's in there. So there's a mix of stuff people have had and some new stuff. The calamari I know was a big hit for years, and so the calamari's in the book. But there's lots to choose from.
Well, it's interesting you said that because one of my questions was whether you have a wicked sweet tooth or whether you're more of a savory food kind of guy. I'm definitely all about the savory for sure. So
yeah, I'm a savory. It's funny. Most chefs that I know, we're potatoes, French fries, potato chips, salt type of guys. My wife, grease and salt and wash it down with a beer. My wife is all about desserts, so we're good like that.
Oh, hey, that's kind of same with my husband and myself. He's all dessert, so we're like a match made in heaven. Nobody's looking at the other's plate, right? So, now, I did notice a review from John Joseph of the Cromags, so full respect. I was very impressed by that.
Yeah. John, when we were reaching out to people for blurbs for the book, John's someone I followed. I'm going on, as of recording this, I think it's year 16 or 17 of vegan. I don't even remember anymore. Yeah. But I remember following John a long time ago and being inspired by him. He's been around, vegan for 25, 30 years or something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, of course, I love the music. That's my thing, right?
Yeah. And I actually interviewed him for my new podcast too, which was pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be talking after because I need to get hold of him. Now, how is your book tour going to look in light of the new normal?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a bummer for me. I'm not going to lie, because I'm a people person and I love being in front of people. And I my other book tours, I've brought food with me everywhere I've gone. I've brought free food, and people taste the food, and it, here it's in the book, purchase the book. And
then, right?
yeah, exactly. So it's definitely more difficult this time. Instagram, social media, much of what people have been doing so far. I'm launching a brand new website. I'm going to be actually doing a lot more YouTube as well. I'm committed to, investing time and money into doing YouTube and some videos. So more media. In light of the in-person events, just more online, much of what the world has been doing. And hopefully, in the next few months, the COVID restrictions will lift a little bit more and I can do a little bit more in person.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So of all of the recipes that are in the book, if you could only eat one of the recipes in the book, do you think you could choose just one?
Oh my God, you're killing me.
If you do say so.
The hard-hitting questions you get on the show.
That's tough journalism.
Honestly, the ribs, man. Yeah. Before I was vegan, I apprenticed at a country club here in Toronto, and I was the apprentice. And part of the apprentice's job was to make the ribs every week, like traditional pig ribs. And I was a rib guy. Like I could eat, 6 racks of ribs. I would feel sick, but I could eat 6 racks of ribs. So, for sure, those ribs.
I've never had ribs in my life, or I've never had real chicken wings or anything, because I went vegetarian when I was 19 and grew up in a small town. So there was no such thing as that where I was from. So anyway, now when first adopting a plant-based diet, people are often concerned it'll be very restrictive. And when you're eating out, it can be. And I've discussed this with Alec before, and we agree that it actually opened up a whole new culinary world for us and expanded our palate.
Definitely.
Was it the same for you?
That's a funny question, because I remember, again, I was 21 or 22 when I went vegan. It was quite some time ago. And there was no Beyond Meat. There was no Day of Cheese. There was none of that. Eve's was the only veggie burger, and you couldn't even get almond milk. Didn't exist. It was soy milk. So you had to get creative. Yeah. And so my answer is absolutely, because I had never played around with nutritional yeast or miso or tamari or just all these different ingredients that exist that make things taste amazing. Like quinoa, I'd never heard of quinoa or chia seeds or hemp seeds absolutely, 100%. I think it opens your world up to it opens your mind up to a whole other world of food and ingredients that are out there. And it makes you say, wow, like, why didn't I know this before?
You would not even have bothered looking for them had it not, had you not taken this step, for sure.
Well, and part of that is we're definitely back then, I guess now more so, but we weren't marketed to. There was no marketing dollars or investment being put on quinoa, so who's going to know about it? So yeah, but now it's different. Obviously, you go on YouTube, and I go on YouTube and I see advertisements now for 6 different lines of plant-based meats. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe it. Yeah.
So you've indicated that you've been vegan for quite some time. What was it that led you to make that choice to go, first plant-based and vegan?
It was twofold. One, I was on a bit of I'm opening up a bit more about this as I get older now, but I was pretty messed up. I drank a lot. I partied too much. I got into hard drugs very young, and I was just very unhealthy. And I was, 300 plus pounds, and I was just, more than the number on the scale, I was just unhealthy. And I remember waking up one day and just saying, I need to make a change. And I had no idea what that meant. Again, I was like 20 or 21. And I just went down this path of exercise and healthier eating. And then I fell in love with this woman who was in New York. And she was I don't want to say she was a vegan. She was close to it. I think everyone at that time, again, now is different, but at that time you hear vegetarian and you think healthier. So I had heard that. And I remember we had been out to dinner at the #1 restaurant in the world at the time. It was called Gramercy Tavern in New York City. And we had tasting menu. I had the 8-course traditional, and I had veal and foie gras and all that torture. And she had the vegan one. And it was intriguing because there was like a beet jus, a beet Cabernet jus, and all this stuff that I'd never seen before. And I remember going back to her apartment after the dinner, and she's like, just watch this video. And I'm like, fine, I'll watch it. I'll make you happy. I'll watch it. And it was PETA's Meet Your Meat.
Ooh,
And
nice.
that's what got me. I mean, I watched that video and my mouth dropped and I said, holy shit. I don't know if I can swear. I said,
you
holy
can.
shit. Okay.
We're not modernized, yes.
Yeah. I'm not your mother.
I just said, holy shit, I can't believe this happens. And I was like, there's no way that this happens in all slaughterhouses. And then of course, you know, I searched more and more and I read books, and the more I read, the more I just knew. I was like, yeah, this is industry standard. These animals are just abused. Yeah. And then I got into the health, and for me, it was just boom, boom, boom. It was like, it makes no sense to eat meat.
Good for you. Now that just shows your maturity level. Being a young guy like that and actually recognizing that, you know, I'm on a very slippery slope here, and then to be so compelled, like to do the right thing. Very good.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I don't know. It just,
I was still pretty much a jerk at that age. So.
Too funny.
So what else are you working on these days? Any plans to return to restaurateuring?
Well, you know, I had plans to, pre-COVID, I had plans to grow globally. Before COVID hit, I'll be very honest, I was negotiating deals on almost every continent to grow my food and my brand. And then COVID hit, and
it'll still happen. But
well, I appreciate it. Almost everything has stopped for now. I'm still working with Aviva here in Toronto. So we did a brunch menu together, and I'm part of another business in the United States called Neon Tiger. And that's in Charleston, South Carolina. So they're serving my food now. And then we opened during the pandemic with a partial menu, and I'll be heading down there in the next few weeks to get the entire restaurant going. I'm launching a new podcast. I've interviewed 8 well-known vegans so far, and I'm going to continue down that path of interviewing vegans and just getting their story. It's called the Vegan Leaders Podcast, and I'm interviewing everyone from chefs to actors to musicians to mindfulness teachers, doing more YouTube. Oh yeah. No, it's been awesome. I loved interviewing Biff Naked. She's fantastic and just such a great story, and speaks up for the animals. And I'm still hoping to grow globally. I think right now is just a time to remind people to slow down, and you know, life is precious and life is short, because you just never know, right? Look at this.
It's going to happen. It's just been slightly delayed. That's all.
Yeah.
For you, I'm saying. Yeah.
So as I mentioned, we like to ask the really tough questions on Calling All Vegans. So by being vegan yourself, you've increased the likelihood that you're going to wind up on a desert island by about 800% with a companion pig. Now, if magically you were able to have one dish, it can be from your cookbook or it can be one from somewhere else, one dish, we are able to get you that dish for the rest of your life. Your companion animal pig can get whatever dish they like as well. So what would that one dish be that you would have for the rest of your time on the desert island?
You know, it's funny. I get asked this a lot. Like, what's your favorite dish? What's your, and it's really simple. I'm a simple guy. Like, I love the combination of the following. It's steamed quinoa or brown rice, crispy tempeh, avocado, greens of some type, sweet potato, and like a creamy tahini sauce, like a Buddha bowl almost. Like, because for me, amazing. You get your fats, your protein, your carbs. It's just tasty. I love crispy tempeh myself. I know a lot of people don't care for tempeh. I love crispy tempeh.
Well, we're going to have the Tofurky guy on in a couple of weeks, Seth Tibbett, who started Tofurky, and that was his thing. You
exactly.
know, so.
Cool.
So, as we mentioned, the book is just about to come out, and it's hitting the shelves on the 29th. Individuals that want to get a copy in their hands, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can head over to, it's available widely on every platform, wherever this individual is. So Amazon, obviously, Indigo chapters here in Canada, Barnes and Noble in the United States. What the heck is it called in the United Kingdom? I have links for everything on my website.
Okay.
And what is your website?
There we go.
Yeah, my website is my name. It's dougmcnish.com. People can follow me on Instagram at Doug McNish. Twitter is at Doug McNish, and Facebook is at Doug McNish. Everything is just under my name, and I'm super excited for this book to come out. I really hope people enjoy it.
Oh, I do believe they will. I actually, when you were saying about what the toughest dish to veganize would be, I for sure thought you were going to say the sunny side up egg, but anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, the egg, I wouldn't say, actually, I don't know. I did put more time into the ribs, I think, believe it or not. And, but the egg is really cool too. People will have fun.
I can't wait
that
to
one's
try that one.
molecular gastronomy.
Exactly. So just so that we've got to bookend it again, what is the name of the podcast for those that want to follow that?
Yeah, the name of my new podcast is called the Vegan Leaders Podcast. And I will be, the first episode, I haven't even told anyone yet, is set to come out on October the 6th.
Okay.
And then there'll be a brand new episode every week. And just cool. For me, it's like, this is not something I do to make money or anything like that. It's just,
Passion project.
I get to, like you guys, I get to interview really cool, interesting people and talk about their life and
case in point.
how they got to be where they are. And it's just, John Joseph it was amazing listening to him, and Biff Naked, and, Derek Sarno is I love Derek Sarno.
Yeah,
over
they're cool.
Sarno Brothers. Yeah. So interviewing him was a blessing. And Candace Hutchings, the Edgy Veg, I got to interview her. So it's been really fun.
Nice.
That's amazing. Well, I hope John didn't swear too much on the podcast for you.
Oh, he did. Oh yeah. I have to I think I have to record a warning just to let people know, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't play this around children. He talks about beating people up. Yeah.
Not safe for work, that's for sure.
No,
anyway,
not
thank
safe for work.
So much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and I wish you'd come out with a new book every year so we could keep up with you that often. So anyway,
yes.
Again, please kindly visit our new YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe. Alec makes me say that at the end. So.
And make sure to check out Doug and on all of his socials.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Okay. Talk
You
to you
too.
later.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.